a ruler of the waters and their powers. And such she was. Her daughters had their dowers from spoils of nations, and the exhaustless East poured in her lap all gems in sparkling showers. In purple was she robed, and of her feast monarchs partook, and deemed their dignity increased. In Venice, Tasso's echoes are no more, and silent rose the songless gondolier. Her palaces are crumbling to the shore, and music meets not always now the ear. Those days are gone, but beauty still is here. States fall, arts fade, but nature doth not die, nor yet forget how Venice once was dear, the pleasant place of all festivity, the revel of the earth, the mask of Italy. And now, Death in the Floating City.
Chapter 1. I'd expect a jewel encrusted, not encased in a layer of dried blood. Almost cringing, I fingered the slim medieval dagger that felt heavier in my hands than its size suggested. Tourists come to Venice, the city Petrarch called Mundus Alter, another world, to take in the opulent beauty of the floating city's palaces, the soft colours and vibrant gold of St. Mark's Basilica, and the rich elegance of Titian's paintings. My trip, however, came without the prospect of such pleasant things. I was standing in a dark, musty palazzo with my childhood nemesis glowering over my shoulder as I inspected the knife an intruder had used to kill her father-in-law. An unpleasant sensation prickled up my neck as I stared down. Instruments of murder are not something with which a lady contends on a daily basis, particularly not one still bearing evidence of its evil use. The police returned it to me in just that condition, Emma Callum said, wrinkling her nose. I wasn't about to touch it, and the servants point blank refused to clean it. I'd fire the lot of them if my Italian were better. I like to believe the majority of my fellow countrymen were excellent travellers abroad, credits to the Empire. An Englishman ought to conduct himself in a manner more likely to draw admiration than scorn, and should use his explorations of the world as an opportunity to expand his mind and improve his character. Emma showed no sign of such aspirations, a condition unusual in someone who has chosen to go beyond simple tourist and embrace the life of an expat. Then again, Emma had lived in Italy for 3 years without bothering even to learn the language. My husband took the knife from my hand and studied it before laying it on a table. We'd been married just over 2 years, and Colin Hargreaves still took my breath away every time I looked at his preternaturally handsome face. Early on in our acquaintance, even before I'd abandoned my erroneous suspicion that he'd murdered my first husband, but that's another story altogether, I'd decided his perfectly chiselled features looked as if Praxiteles, my favourite ancient Greek artist, had sculpted them. His dark eyes and darker, wavy hair lent him a romantic air that would set Mr. Darcy to permanent brooding and send Heathcliff stalking across the moors, never to return. No man, fictional or real, could compare. Our hostess, however, was an entirely different matter. One might, perhaps, compare Emma to Miss Bingley or Mrs. Dashwood, but she did not quite reach the level of a great villain of literature. Still, nothing short of murder could have induced me to renew my acquaintance with Emma. We had never been close, and it was unlikely this would ever change. Put simply, she despised me, and I am ashamed to admit I returned the feeling. When we were 6 years old, she destroyed my favourite doll, smashing its porcelain face with her boot. She scooped up the pitiful remains of the toy my father